Hey, what's up, YouTube? Quick vlog for you guys today, channel update vlog. Don't expect these super regularly, but anytime I feel the need to or want to, uh, I'll do them. Um, so hopefully quick video today. We'll start off with just getting some channel news out of the way. I did post this week, if you guys are following along, the last 3 or 4 episodes that I had recorded of the Dark Souls 2 Let's Play. Um, Now these were all recorded last week or the week before, I forget. I've been kind of trickling them out, and just the past 2 days I think I uploaded 2 or 3 of them. Um, this was after I lost my save games, restarted the whole game over, got to where I was, screwed up, restarted again. I explained all that in the previous channel update. I think I mentioned it in the first video as well. Now the problem was with those that I just uploaded and recorded is that I went through, tested, everything seemed fine, and recorded 3 or 4 episodes just back to back to back, all in one night. And I didn't realize until I went through and started editing them afterwards that the audio was just not the best. Now the first few videos in the series, I was learning the software, figuring out how to do this, and the video quality wasn't great. I think that's perfectly fixed now. If you guys are watching these in 1080p, they should look crystal clear. There shouldn't be any lag. It should be pretty near perfect. Keeping in mind it's YouTube, they compress the crap out of everything. But yeah, don't ask me why, but the recording software decided that it was going to make the game like stupid loud. Didn't really see it when I was in town, but I realized again while I was editing that some parts, when a lot of action was going on, you can hardly hear me talking. Now it was still usable. I still think they are good videos. I still think you guys are going to get information out of it if you're following along trying to do a full playthrough of the game. So I posted them anyway, but it's something that, like I said, I'm going to fix right after this video, and then I'm probably going to keep playing and record more episodes. So just bear with me, stick with it. Hopefully everything will get sorted out, and then the next game I decide to do a Let's Play of should be pretty much butter smooth. Everything should be sorted out. Like I said, it's Saturday here, so I'm having a beer. And if anyone else is in the general Montreal area, I found these recently. Loads of different flavors. They seem to be breweries from around the world, if I'm reading the labels right. It doesn't tell you who made them or anything. It just says World Breweries. And this one that I'm drinking tonight is a honey brown ale. It is actually not half bad. The one that turned me on to, I guess you'd call it a company, even though it's like breweries from around the world. But the ones that turned me on to this company was, it's called Big Ben Porter. It's a really, really good porter if you guys like dark beer. It's kind of got almost a chocolatey, kind of very smooth taste to it. It's just really good. The honey brown, not as great, but still pretty good for honey. If you like honey brown ales, it's actually pretty good. So if you're in the general Montreal area and you are of legal drinking age, give it a try. If you like it, great. If not, forget I said anything. So yeah, a bit of a vlog, like I said. So we got the channel news out of the way. There's one thing, then I won't get into details as to why I'm sharing this, okay? But just a bit of life advice for everyone out there that I think will make everyone's life better. It'll make your life better if you need to follow this. If it doesn't apply to you, then great, you're already being a great person. A few things. So again, I'm not going to get into why I'm saying this. Let's just leave it at that. But don't be negative, okay? No one likes anyone who is negative all the time. People accuse me of being negative all the time, but I just don't think that's super true. Other YouTubers have said this, but for me, I was told this years and years ago by my boss. For those that don't know, I work in as a programmer analyst for a web company. I develop websites. It's time consuming sometimes, which is again why I say that sometimes life gets in the way. My job pays the bills. YouTube doesn't pay me anything. So until that changes, YouTube is going to get done, but it's not my super priority. But yeah, so my boss years and years ago said, and I'm paraphrasing because I'm pretty sure he said this in French, but you're allowed to say no, you're allowed to disagree with stuff, but if you do, you have to propose a different way of doing it, a different suggestion, something along those lines. So yes, you can be against. Super simple example, your friends all want to go see a movie. You really don't want to. Don't just say, no, I don't want to go see a movie. You can say, how about we go see a movie another time? How about we go bowling tonight? That's stupid example, but there's like an example. You can't be negative. You can't just be against stuff. You have to propose something different. Another bit of advice, and it's just something that I always live by, is anything that happens out there, like absolutely anything you can think of, the only thing you need to think about is, does this actually affect me? A perfect example for that was in the States recently, and all this stupid news always seems to come from the States. Don't ask me why. They're just like stuck on stuff that to me is like so not news, so not even worth discussing. But the whole who can use what bathroom discussion they had in the States, the only question you had to ask yourself for that is, does this actually affect me in any way whatsoever? And I don't mean like, oh, it upsets me to even think about it. I mean, if I'm in the bathroom and men's bathroom, say, okay, and like, stupid example again, I'm in the men's bathroom and a woman walks in and goes into the bathroom. Does that change anything to me? No. Then why the hell do you care? It's just as simple as that. There's no effect to you, then why the hell do you care? Just let people live their lives. It's just something I always live by, like I say, just that's always like anything that happens, how does this affect me? And if the answer is, well, it really doesn't, it's then why do I care? And I don't mean that to be abused in the bad way, like, I don't know, like the fire in Fort McMurray. How does that affect me? Well, it doesn't, so I'm not going to do anything about it. No, I'm talking about stuff that like everyone is against. If it doesn't affect you and it's making someone else happy, don't care. Who cares, really, okay? It's not affecting you. Let them do it. Let them be happy. Let them live their lives. Simple as that. So yeah, that's my little bit of life advice for today. Super simple stuff that I think if everyone started following, just everything would be so much better. Finally, what I want to talk about is the state of gaming. Now, for those that don't know my background, I'm going to be 35 soon. I grew up in the 80s playing ColecoVision before we got an NES. And with all those consoles, I've also always been a PC gamer. My dad, when I was a kid, had an old, I want to say it was like a 286, but it might have even been before that. For those that are super young, this thing was like a monochrome screen, so it was black and kind of a puke brown, puke yellow color. Those were the only colors that the screen could do. I don't even know the specs of the machine, but it took those like 5.4 inch floppy disks. Most of you probably have no idea what that is, but Google it. Yeah, I used to play games on that. Used to play games on Nintendo, Coleco. After that, I ended up getting a Genesis. After that, I kind of just like wavered off and still tried to keep up with PC gaming as more or less as much as I could. When I started my job when I was 19, was right around when PS2 launched. I ended up getting a PS2 with one of my first paychecks. Played the hell out of that thing. I owned an Xbox, the original Xbox when that first came out. Um, Bought a 360 on day one. Bought a PS3 shortly-ish after launch. And I actually took a day off work and went and got the Xbox One on release date this console cycle as well. So, I've been gaming, and throughout all that, I've never really stopped PC gaming, by the way. I just got more seriously into it recently, past few years. But yeah, so, I know my gaming. I've been gaming since I was a kid, and how I always saw it is PC gaming is just always there. It's always been there for me. Consoles to me were always a way to get gaming quickly. Um, I kind of went towards consoles more because you buy a console, you plug it in, and for the most part, you just go buy a game, put the disc in, close the tray, you're good. Um, what's kind of been like on my mind for the past few years and since the new console cycle launch is just how gaming is going downhill, it seems sometimes. Now, I don't have a PS4. I don't want a PS4. Just super quickly, I don't want any Sony products whatsoever anymore, ever again. The reason why, I know a lot of people said Xbox 360 would red ring, and they went through 12 Xbox 360s. That wasn't my experience. I had one Xbox 360 red ring. They replaced it within like a week or so. Super great experience with them. They were super nice about it. Shipped me a refurbished one back out super quickly. And that was the end of it. I never had a problem with the 360. I've still got a 360 in my living room. It still works fine. I still use it. Haven't really had any issues with the Xbox One either. Now for me, last console generation was the PS3. I think I went through 4 or 5 of them. And the last straw for me with Sony was that the PS3, they had a yellow light or orange light, whatever you want to call it, instead of a red ring, but it was basically the same thing, okay? So this was my day one, like 60 gig PS3 that played fully backwards compatible PS2 games. Like I said, 4th or 5th time it broke, and I got in contact with Sony, and basically the answer I got was that I'd been through too many of them, I guess, and too bad, and they wanted 300 something dollars Canadian for me to pay for shipping both ways to send them back so that they could fix it or refurbish it. But because it was a 60 gig day one, don't really expect to get another 60 gig day one console. That would probably be one of the newer ones. So basically wanting me to buy a new console off of them. That was the last straw for me with Sony because, like I told them on the phone, Microsoft was having a deal right then and there for a arcade version of the 360. So no hard drive, but whatever. But they wanted $90 for them. And Sony pretty much told me, well, yeah, you should go buy that then. Well, that's pretty much what I did because I had actually sold my 360. I wasn't playing it as much. I didn't really need 2 consoles. So I trashed the PS3 and bought a new 360, and I've been using Xboxes since then. That's not really the point right now, though, but I just thought I'd get that out of the way. The point is, especially with the latest console generation in the last 2 years or so, Microsoft and Sony both put out new consoles, Xbox One, PS4. You can argue both ways. People have both ways. To me, at least, Xbox One had some exclusive games. PS4 has nothing. And even taking the Xbox One, yeah, they've got more exclusives, but there's not that many. The amount of stuff that you could not get unless you had that console just keeps going like less and less and less as years go by. The last straw for me was really when Microsoft came out at E3 this year and said like, hey, by the way, pretty much everything that's exclusive, It's also on Windows now. So why would I own your console? Everyone's got a PC. Why would I need your console? There's just no reason to own a console really anymore, which is kind of sad. And especially with Steam. Everyone's got Steam. You've got a PC. You're PC gaming. You've probably got a copy of Steam. Uh, I bought a Steam Link. I think it cost me like 40 bucks, a little tiny box, plug it into your TV, run a cable to it. I can sit on my couch, play every single Steam game that I have in my library, which is about 700 something games now, uh, and get the couch console experience. It's not perfect, but honestly, if you're running cable, it's pretty damn good. I mean, I can play Dark Souls and it's fine. I played Witcher, it's fine too. Yeah. The other thing I've noticed too with gaming lately is the past few years, so many games are coming out at full price, which if you're in Canada, that means like $80 for a game, okay? Full price, and there's just no content. There's nothing to these games. Just off the top of my head, the Star Wars Battlefront, they patched in so much stuff since then, but I mean, even then, for like an $80 game, there's nothing there. Um, Rainbow Six Siege, I mean, I'm sorry to bring that one up because I freaking love that game. I have it. I had it on Xbox One and I bought it again on PC because I love that game. But it's not a full price game, and I didn't pay full price for either copy, mind you. I got it on Xbox One for half price. So I paid like 35, I think, for it on a Christmas deal. The PC one, I think I got off one of the summer sales or whatever. So I paid about $30 for it. It's not an $80 game. It's a great game. It's not an $80 game. And by making it an $80 game when it's multiplayer only, you're already like limiting your customer base. And then the people that do buy it, you end up like it is now, where you like click to find a match and you have to wait 5 minutes sometimes. Which I know, like, white people problems, first world problems, but it sucks. It's if the games were coming out at the actual price they're worth, which to me, if it's an online only, um, either make it free to play with like all the cosmetics in Rainbow Six could have just been pay. Uh, they don't affect anything, and I know a lot of people would have paid for them anyway. Um, or at least make it like maybe $40 tops Canadian, not $80. Come on. You'd have such a bigger customer base. The other one too that came out recently is Overwatch. I bought it. PC version wasn't as bad because at least they had an option which I think was $40 or $50 Canadian. Consoles, from my understanding, you were stuck paying the full $80 for it, and then the extra crap you got was stuff for PC games. It doesn't make sense to me to buy something on a console and then by the way, the $20 extra value is stuff on PC. But I don't have that. That's another one that like it's all right. It's not badly done. It's not a horrible game, but there's not much there. You can play against bots at least, which is something that's more than like Battlefront. I think Battlefront is adding that like a year later. Um, but yeah, these are not like full price games, especially when you put it next to something like Witcher 3. Witcher 3 I bought from CD Projekt Red directly when it launched on PC. I think I paid $35 Canadian for this thing, okay? That game, that game is a game. That game is worth it. I've put like 90 hours into that game the first playthrough. Now that I've upgraded my graphics card, I got a 1070 for anyone that cares. Um, it's one of the games that I went, it's so far in my memory now that like screw it, I'm gonna reinstall it, and now I can play it maxed out. And by the way, oh, Steam Summer Sale, cool. The two expansions are together for 20 bucks Canadian extra. So I just bought Witcher 3 for $50 with absolutely everything in it. Um, just the original content took me 90 hours to play through. And from what I'm told, and I haven't actually tried the expansions yet, so this is just hearsay, I guess, but from what I'm told, those two expansions are pretty much as big as most AAA games that are coming out today. I just, there's such a price variance, it just doesn't make sense, and I don't get how some companies are justifying putting out these essentially piece of crap unfinished games for full price. The worst, most egregious example of this was Street Fighter V. Here's like a game that's I've played since Street Fighter 2 back on the like Super Nintendo Genesis. It's always had like it's never been the biggest completest thing, whatever. But when you release something that even has less features than Street Fighter 4, but you're still charging the same amount and promising that, yeah, don't worry, we'll patch everything in, which I don't even think they've like patched in half the stuff they've promised so far, and even the stuff that has been patched in was been patched in way later than they promised. It just doesn't make sense, and to me, I keep saying this to my friends, but it just feels like we're going towards another video game crash where just everyone's gonna just stop bothering. Because, I mean, I was the kind of guy that like pretty much every new release, I'd be at EB Games like every Tuesday to pick up something almost. Now, no, I'm, like I said, currently I'm replaying Dark Souls 2. I'll probably go back and replay Dark Souls 3. I'm playing Witcher 3, which I bought last year. And other than that, I'm really kind of in the mood to go back and replay all the old Batman games. Nothing that's coming out this year is of any interest. And then the other one that just came out this week, so this is on topic, No Man's Sky. It was this big overhyped piece of crap. There's nothing to that game, and I called that as soon as they started showing it. And everyone was saying like, this is the game, you have to buy a PS4. Everyone's going to buy a PS4 for this game. This is the game. Even from those early trailers, I could tell you that game is going to be nothing. And that's basically what all the reviews are saying now that it's actually out. There's just nothing in that game. You just, yeah, you build a ship, you mine some resources, and then you fly around. And maybe you'll see some animals. Maybe you'll see another player, but probably not. Yeah, you made a huge world, but you didn't... There's no quest, there's no story, there's no nothing. If that's your thing, good on you, have at it, but that's not my thing. I play games for two reasons, and two reasons only. One, good single player, and I want a deep story that's going to keep me entertained and keep me coming back. Or two, I want something for the competitive multiplayer. Playing a bunch of them. I'm playing Siege right now. Like I said, it's one, I don't pay full price for Siege. I love the game, but do not ever pay full price for that thing, okay? Give me something in the games. That's all I'm saying. Now, on a better, more positive note, going back to my life lessons, you can't be too negative without offering some positive. I think that about like we're heading towards another gaming crash, and why the hell are people still playing and buying all these new games when half of it isn't really worth it? The one thing that surprised me this year is the Vive. When VR was first announced, Oculus Rift and all that, and I saw the prices, and I'm like, no way, not for those prices. It just didn't make sense to me. Having done more studying, I will admit, and this is not something I was expecting at all whatsoever, but I'm probably going to be ordering a Vive at some point soonish. Now, the detractors have told me, like, don't order the first gen, wait a couple of years, get the second one. But if you go into it with that mindset, you're never going to buy anything if you're always waiting because everything's always going to be cheaper and there's always going to be a better one coming. Um, how I justified the Vive to my friend, because for my American friends, it's $7.99 US. I wish it was $7.99 Canadian. I'd buy one right now if it was. Don't ask me why, but in Canada it's about 1,200 plus taxes, so really it's about $1,400, which is kind of ridiculous. But how I justified it to my friend, which even he said, like, that's way too expensive, that doesn't make sense. Well, with my 1070 card, I started looking, because right now I am running a 27-inch 1080p monitor, and my second screen is just an old LCD 19-inch 4x3 monitor. It's just there for my instant messaging, basically. So I started looking for ultra wide screen, or upgrading to just get two 1440p 27-inch monitors. Now for the ultra wide, the one that I narrowed down that would actually be worth it, it was 1,200 something plus taxes. If I wanted to get two 27-inch 1440p monitors, those would be about $600 a piece. So again, we're talking about $1,200. Take that into account. The Vive is basically giving you two screens. You're getting two controllers. It's doing the motion detecting, which the only equivalent I can think of is the Kinect for Xbox, which memory serves, they still sell for like about $150, $200 Canadian separate. Start adding all that together, you're pretty much in the same ballpark. So yes, it is expensive, but it is something that I think I've now come around to it, and I think it is actually going to be something that will take off. So I'll probably be investing in it personally. I'm lucky enough, I have the means. With a bit of budgeting and saving, I have the means to. So to just wrap this up, actually, because I just thought of it, here's another life lesson for you guys. Don't live on credit, okay? If you're living on credit, you're in debt. If you're in debt, no. If you're not living on credit, you might not have all the super nice stuff, but you have no debt. If you have no debt, you're already rich. I see, just looking online when I was doing my research for the Vive, the amount of YouTubers, and I won't name names, it's whatever they want to do is fine with me, but the amount of YouTubers I was seeing where you're showing off the Vive, you're showing off this like $3,000 PC, but it looks like you live in a shit box. Like, you've got like tin foil and garbage bags taped over your windows, or you've got like junk everywhere in like something that looks like about a 2 feet by 2 feet room. That's just not how I like to live. Yes, stuff is nice. I have a lot of stuff. I'm guilty of that. But live within your means and live comfortably. And you'll be a much happier person in the end. You won't be stressing out over bills to pay and debt. So there you go. A little vlog. Ran a bit longer than I was hoping, but I guess I had a lot to say. So, like I said, I will be fixing the audio issues and expect more episodes of the Let's Play shortly. Thank you.